Hi, my name is Nico Cesaretta. I'm in Math 150, Section 510. Today is Wednesday, April 25th, 2018. I'm in room 122, the Heldenfels building on the campus of Texas A&M University. Look over there. That's my totally terrific TA. I'm done. I'm about to present my problem to my helpful classmate, William Dellenbach. Right here. And all right, let's get started. So you have, if you have, gotta get a bit engineered. All right, if you have f of x equals negative 1 over 1/3 x squared plus 1 times 9 minus x squared. First, you're going to look at the problem, and then you can change this to the, I think it's called the difference of squares. So you do negative 1/3 x squared plus 1. So that's what you get right here. But right here, you can change this to 3 minus x and 3 plus x. And so once you get that, you realize your y-intercept is, so to figure out your y-intercept, what you want to do is you do f of x equals negative 1/3 times, you replace x with 0, so you do 0 plus 1 times 9 minus 0, because that's where you have your x's at. And then after that you solve. So what you do is you place negative 1/3 and you multiply that times 9 over 1, because once you do that, you get negative 9 over 3, and that equals negative 3. So your y-intercept is 0, negative 3. And then to find your x-intercepts, all you really do is you just figure out what these are, as like you're trying to do to them, kind of. So what you do is you get 3, 0 if you look at it, and then you do it. You get another negative 3, 0, and then to consider end behaviors. Yeah, that's mine. To consider end behaviors, since you have 3 leading terms, negative 1 over 3, and then x squared, and then also x squared. So these are your leading terms. So what you do is you get negative 1/3 times x squared times negative x squared. Negative x squared, and both of these equal negative x to the 4th. So then you do negative 1/3 times negative x to the 4th over 1, and then you get x 4th over 3. So as x approaches infinity, f of x also approaches infinity. And then as f of x, as x approaches negative infinity, f of x also approaches infinity. And so, on what intervals does f of x equal 0? So what you're going to do is you're going to create one of these tables, and you're going to have negative infinity to negative 3, then to 3, then to an infinity. And then you draw those lines down. Oh, okay, you don't really have to draw this one or this one. And then you get all your variables. So you have negative 1/3, you have x squared plus 1, you have 3 minus x, you have 3 plus x, and then you have f of x. So what you do right here is you get any number that's less than negative 3 and between negative infinity, so basically any number less than negative 3, and that's just, then you replace it, so that's just going to be negative, and then you get any number between 3 and negative 3, and that's also going to be negative when you put it to this. And then you get it number greater than 3, or yeah, greater than 3. And you also get a negative because this is negative 1/3. And you just go through the same process with all of these. So x squared plus 1, anything smaller than negative 3 squared plus 1 is going to be a positive number. And then for this one, it's also going to be a positive number. And this greater than 3 is also going to be a positive number. So then you substitute, like again, this is also going to be a positive number. Now right here, if you substitute 3 in for x, 3 minus 3 equals 0. So what you're going to do is just draw a 0 right there. That's going to be negative because anything greater. So you get 3 minus anything greater than 3, it's going to be negative. And then you're going to get negative for anything less than negative 3. And then right here, so if you place 3 plus negative 3, you're going to get 0. And then right here is going to be positive and then positive. So basically then after this, you look at all of your negative and positive signs, and then you can find that f of x, anything less than negative 3 is going to be positive. And then anything between negative 3 and 3 is going to be negative for f of x, and then greater than 3 is going to be positive. So what you see at this point is your intervals where f of x is greater than 0, it's going to be negative infinity to negative 3, union 3 to infinity. And then, so all the information that you will learn from this video to sketch a graph below, you're going to see that it's going to go down 3. So what you're going to do is your anchor point is going to be at negative 3. And then you're going to run into the intervals positive 3 and negative 3. And since it's one of these kind of problems, you're just going to go up. And then you're just going to go up and connect the dots. And there you go.